Mike, you had one job, bro. Fucking countdown, bro.
I never do the countdown. I was like, countdown? What is he talking about?
The
countdown.
30 seconds, you make it dramatic, whatever. What's up, guys? How you doing? What's going on? Thank you for being with us. TBC 77. Jordan? 77. 76?
You sure about
77.
77, bro. 77. Shit has got to stop. We can't keep doing this every week. It's ridiculous.
Dude,
yeah, we're gonna have a great show today. Gonna be fun. We got our returning brothers. I'll get to them in a second. These beautiful. Look at them, bro. Look at them, man. How you pretty boys doing, man? You guys all right? Yeah. Okay, all right, sure, all right. So yeah. Everybody, thank you for being with us. It's been a hell of a week. We got a lot to talk about. And for obvious reasons, I don't think we're going to get into the financial crap, the boring economics stuff. Because obviously here on the show, we usually focus on gaming. So yeah. Anyway, my name is Mo, Dr. Mo Mokalma. I'm here with my sons, Jordan, Mike, Kevin, boys. And from the Gaming Perspective podcast, and I think Eric is on two other podcasts. Eric Jackson.
Just one other.
And Nick Downie. Well, how you boys doing, baby? You guys all right?
Yeah, man.
I'm doing
fine.
great.
I cannot wait to talk about PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility in the night.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, bro.
How many hours do we have left for that announcement?
It's
supposed to be today, right?
maybe tomorrow. Imminent death. Imminent death is what we're calling it. Let me see. What did Dano here say? It was all set to watch along with the football game. I'll have to watch the replay. You know what, Dano? I got the game playing behind me, man. So I don't know if that substitutes for it, but well, maybe that'll help. Anyway, yeah, man. Good to see everybody here. Let me go around. Eric, how's your week been, man? You been all right?
Yeah, man. Not too bad. It's a lot of news, a lot of information. We're kind of laying low on the timeline. I'm not inviting any of that insanity into my world. So, but I'm sure we'll get into it. But outside of that, no, it's been pretty good. Work hasn't been too crazy. Tom Brady's out of the playoffs. So is Aaron Rodgers.
Guys, bro. What is it with you guys? He's a legend.
No, I will never take away from the dude's thing. But it's just I'm being a hater. He's got it too damn good, man. Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
It's enough.
Still playing.
Enough.
Hot wife, mad dog. I'm come on, man. It's enough of this shit.
I know, bro. I know. I know. Yeah. Here's Mr. Bedbit here to spread his great energy. Just leading off the show with.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Okay. They're good, man. That's awesome. Jordan, my son, how you doing?
What's up, baby? I'm doing good, man. I've come off a nice stretch of days off at work. I'm about to really put my nose back to the grindstone starting tomorrow. But yeah, I've just been gaming. All the news that's happened this week, I've kind of more or less tried to just stay off of it, just like my compatriot here, Nick. Focus on gaming. That's at the end of the day, that's what we're here to talk about, right? And I've been playing lots of games. We'll go over that soon. But yeah, we're all here, just chilling. Ebony and Ivory over here as well too. Let's go.
Left and right.
Let's go.
Oh my god, man! Oh, that's great. That's good shit, man. That's gonna be a busy week for both of us. I know that for sure. Nick, my son,
What's going on?
how you doing, bro?
No Tom Brady's a good Tom Brady.
Man, That's what it is, huh?
There's very few people that are, in the world where I have an immense urge to bully them nonstop. And Tom Brady is one of those people.
Yeah.
Probably beat the tar out of me, but honestly.
I don't know, man. That's debatable. That's debatable.
But regardless, it's Sunday night. We're talking about video games.
Yes, we are.
I can't wait to yell PlayStation dead with Joe all night long.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're going to be cheering all night long with Joe. That PlayStation is dead. 100%. Kevin, my son.
Yo,
How you doing, bro?
Good, baby. I'm glad to be here. I'm so excited. Sweet panel. Lots to talk about. We reached out to a bunch of lawyers and experts, and then decided that that was bullshit. So we can't.
Yes.
So here we are.
Ains actually had a lawyer earlier this morning, so
I know.
that was a great show, man. That was very, very insightful.
So Ains gets a lawyer, and you just pick up me with a criminal record and think.
I know.
100%.
Almost.
I
Almost the
wouldn't
same
have
thing.
it
Almost the same.
any way, any other way. Yeah, good, man. Mike, my son, how you doing?
Pretty good, Mo. Let's see. What do I got to say about this week? Gee golly, not a whole lot because, well, I don't know a whole lot, and literally the subject makes me feel like not that smart, you know? So, like, that's exactly what I was like, you know what? It would be really good to talk to a full-blown dude who, like, majored in economics or, like, a lawyer, like you said. And I was like, but I don't know too many of those types of people, so I'm just going to kind of sit back and basically let the dust settle because I feel like what is happening with that stuff, like, I'm not really about that dialogue, so, like, you know, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. That's pretty much it. All I do know is that what did happen, though, even as a guy who don't care about that kind of stuff, like, I felt it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure we'll get into it later, but...
you felt it, bro.
Deep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, like not the sharpest pebble in the whatever saying that is or whatever, but I mean, holy smokes, you know? But anyways, yeah,
love you,
man, just
Mike.
chilling good, consuming that old Peacekeeper show.
Yes, that's a good
Worth a
one.
watch.
Eagerly.
Eagerly, yeah, it'll crack you up, man. Like, it's that dirty comedy, you know? It's really funny. And it's like hardcore, like brutal or whatever, hard R, and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I'm just trying to keep it into fun. And then, like, gaming-wise, I'm just kind of, like, doing my own thing and just, like, brushing up on some Mortal Kombat skills or whatever. What about you, Ma? How you doing, bro?
Eric just messaged me. He thinks his internet died.
Oh no,
Oh, shit.
that sucks.
Oh, the
That sucks.
timing. Oh, no. That's all right. We'll wait for him, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Busy week and a lot of shit to get through. It's yeah, man. It's just a lot of conversation, a lot of repetitive conversation, a lot of stupid bullshit. You know. So outside of that, everything's good, man. Still playing Halo. I'll get to that in a bit. And yeah. All right, let me.
But amongst the bullshit, not to cut you off, sorry, Mo, but amongst the bullshit, there is though like quality convo, right? There is like quality things that you've seen where you're like, all right, I could see that, or like.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Exceptional takes.
We'll cover it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll cover it. Yeah,
I'm curious.
We'll cover it.
I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. And okay, so for everybody with us right now, we're gonna have a new segment at the end of the show. It's called Drama Alert, where we have picked 6 random tweets from this past week.
Yeah.
Very, very dramatic tweets that we will all read to you in a theatric fashion that the actors in Hamilton will be jealous of. So
Ooh, wow.
stay tuned, my friends. It's going to be a fucking doozy. Let me jump down to Jordan. What have you been playing, man? What you been
Hello.
doing, bro?
So, a continuation of clearing my backlog from last week, I managed to complete Bloodborne and the Old Hunters DLC just yesterday, actually. And it was really cool because Mike periodically would hop into my into a party with me on PlayStation, and because PlayStation has a really awesome screen share feature, you can basically just like do like it's an instant stream to 5 spectators, I believe. but it's seamless. It's super easy to set up. So I had this little guy like in my ear, my little cheerleader over here in the back, like, come on, Jordan, you go, do this.
You
And
got
man,
this, bro.
let me tell you, Old Hunters DLC is no joke. They're some of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in any of the Souls games. Lady Maria of the, what is it called? Astral
Clock Tower, something
What an
like
incredible boss fight. Mo, you need to hear the boss fight music from this. I was just floored the whole time. And like literally as I was fighting her, I'm seeing like all these similar, move patterns and skill sets that I saw in a lot of bosses from Sekiro, which is cool. But that was probably the standout moment of that game for me. When I finally beat her, I'm messaging Joe because we were going back and forth about his experience with Sekiro and him getting pissed off and me getting pissed off. There's just nothing like those games, man. And like I said, this is great. It just builds up my hype for Elden Ring even more. And then, when I thought Lady Maria was hard, I go and fight the Orphan of Kos, and that guy really just honestly made me want to stop playing the DLC. And Mike, I managed to wipe the floor with him the following morning after you and I got off.
Okay.
So, it was good.
Good.
Church pick worked out. I managed to backstab that son of a gun.
Oh, did you ever find out a way to riposte him or to counter?
No, couldn't count. It basically just his first phase was all just trying to get a backstab, and then phase 2 is literally just like a crapshoot because he's just all over the map. I was reading a YouTube comment that said it's like trying to fight a squirrel on cocaine. It's very accurate.
It is a wild fight.
Very
it's
accurate.
Definitely memorable as well. I think to me it was.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, Bloodborne's done, so now I'm gonna now I'm back on Dark Souls 3 because I have not touched the DLC for that. So I'm playing the Ashes.
You're just a sadist, bro. You
you are, man.
You know that gif of like those monks getting like punched in the crotch repeatedly?
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. I know exactly.
It like a champ. I'm like, come on, bring this shit on. And,
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Ashes of Arendelle is great. I barely scratched the surface. I posted a tweet earlier today by some.
What kind of game is that?
Dark Souls 3?
No.
Ashes of Arendelle?
Oh. Okay. Sorry. It's a DLC. It's another DLC.
We're not talking about that one.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was a different game. My bad.
No, you're good. But yeah, I got my butt kicked by the first like NPC that approaches you, like Sir Valenheim. He gave this big speech and everything. He whooped my ass in like 2 seconds. I'm like, cool, thank you. Thank you.
So is that the beginning, Jordan? Real quick,
It's
sorry.
basically the beginning. Yeah, you're in this big snowy world, and I don't know much of the lore of this game either. I've kind of always consumed the Souls games just strictly from a gameplay perspective, outside of the narrative. Beautiful though. Fought some wolves and some night creatures, Mike, and then I follow these like weird like baby dead birds creatures and this one crow thing that just
a dog crow dog,
kind of yeah, crow dog.
This all sounds frightening.
For those that don't know,
It's like that, Kev.
the crow dog is an enemy from Bloodborne. The more you play that game, it just gets more crazy. Anyways, Souls games is a whole other level, guys. Whole other level.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I was just talking to Nick off stream before we started this that Nobody Saves the World from Drinkbox Studios is on Game Pass, and it is a fun game. Like, it's different than the Guacamelee Metroidvania style game. This is more of a straight up ARPG. And when you first take control of your character, it looks like as if you were playing A Link to the Past, and you got that same top down perspective. But they have this whole system where you can just hot swap basically between different personas. Like you have a mouse, you have a knight, you have a ranger. I just unlocked a slug and a horse, and they all have their own attack sets and move sets, and it's a fun little game. The soundtrack is great. You have dungeons you go into just to level up super easily, and then they actually have all the regions are kind of like gated, so you can't necessarily kind of go wherever you want because you'll get your ass beat by fighting like level 20. But progression seems good. It's very quick. It's very responsive. Again, Drinkbox has a kind of a panache when it comes to just the presentation, and it's fun. It's cool. Check it out. And,
what's that game called again, Jordan?
It's called Nobody Saves the World.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, Drinkbox makes some good shit, man. I heard that game is actually pretty cool.
Solid.
What else have they made?
They did Guacamelee 1 and 2, Kevin.
Okay.
Guacamelee.
Yes.
Yep. I did play a little bit of Nobody Saves the World. It was pretty good. There's just too much to play.
I just did a quest where you turn basically you fall in love with a horse. And there's this whole like dialogue
Wow.
line where it's like I just posted it
I
online.
thought Dark Souls sounded creepy.
I know, right?
Reminds
goes
me
into
of my
saying, like, how
ex-wife.
Yo, this is fucking hilarious, man. I just saw this thing. Somebody super chatted the Iron Lords $100. It's a PlayStation fan. Just to shit talk Xbox. He paid $100 to shit talk a console.
Yo.
What a
Worth it.
Feel free to
loser.
donate to us
Please,
if you
yes.
want to shit talk. Yes, I'll take $100. You can just spit on me.
man. Oh my god.
It's almost
This
as
is
bad as those people
amazing.
that used to like film themselves crushing their consoles.
They still
Paid
do. They're still
$100.
out there.
Crazy.
Paid 100, bro. Why didn't you just pay $5? $1? Just they would have highlighted it. This guy
It's the
pays
principle.
100. I
You
think
know
he
what?
really-
I usually have to pay $100 for someone to insult me, but you know. That's
Yeah, man, I know. Tell me about it. I know. Yeah. Anyway, all right, cool, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Nick, what about you? What you been playing, bro?
I've still been messing around in the gunk because it takes me forever to beat games. Me and Mo are on the same level in terms of taking
Okay.
time to beat games.
Okay.
But I've also been playing Rainbow Six Extraction because I'm doing a review on that.
I heard you
and
really liked that.
I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I'm not sure if I went in with such low expectations, but I'm surprised it's good.
Nice.
I know that feeling.
If it's fundamentally just a lot of fun. It was like me and my friend hopped into it at like 10 o'clock and we were like, oh, we'll play like a couple of missions. We'll see what it's like and get the feel for it. And then, you know, we were playing and then I looked at the clock. I was like, man, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to bed. My kids are going to be up. Like, this is not good. So, like, I lost myself in that game. It's fun because it plays like Siege, but it's PvE, and the aliens are kind of cool, and the upgrade system's kind of straightforward, and it's just fun. I don't know. I'll play more. I'm kind of interested to see if they keep it changed up enough that the game's fun throughout. You know, the initial few hours is fun, but, you know, if doing the same thing for 30 hours straight, is that going to be exciting or fun or not? And you never know.
Every game is repetitive, bro.
That's true.
Yeah,
You really think about it.
well,
Every
has
game
to
is
loop.
repetitive.
that's
Has
the
to
thing
loop to
is
hook
like
you.
the value of a game is how they trickle out the mechanics to you. That's why like God of War 2018 is such an amazing game, is because just when you think you have a handle on everything, they're like, hey, here you go. Here's something else for you. Jordan,
You
I
are
see
my
you,
son.
and I
I'm
don't
kidding.
know.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Children.
but that's I like those games where you're playing it and you've played it for like 60, 70 hours and you're still finding weird little things. I think that's why games like Fallout and Skyrim are so great, is because you know, you're 300 hours into a playthrough and then all of a sudden a troll smacks you into outer space and you're like, what's going on? And but yeah, Rainbow Six Extraction, a little bit of the gunk, and some other stuff that I can't talk about. So
Okay.
moving
Nick,
right
can,
along.
can I ask you, it's 3-player co-op, right? Rainbow
Yeah,
Six?
it's weird.
Why?
I do not know why we are going in this trend where it's like
Right?
3 people. I'm like, no, I have a group of 4 friends.
Right.
We started playing games together as 4 friends, and now now we have to get rid of one. We have to pretend we don't.
You gotta
like one of
vote
these guys.
one off.
And,
Gotta draw straws.
I'm sick and tired of being the guy that keeps getting voted out.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! And then let me ask you also too. What do you think of the gunk so far? Like, how many hours into it are you?
I'm like 2-3 hours into it.
You're
I'm at the
about
start of
halfway
last week.
done.
Yeah, I'm about halfway done for it. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. It's like vacuuming, but the game.
Yeah,
It is like vacuuming.
it's very simplistic. Not to like a point to where I would say it's like just stupid, but the way I viewed that game was that like it's like the perfect 3D platform for someone to play that's never played 3D platformers. It's very forgiving. It's very simple. I think it's very like minimalist in terms of how it like what it wants you to do from a gameplay standpoint. And it's like, you know, it does a pretty decent job telling a story. The voice acting is kind of hit or miss, but it was a cool game. I would say I enjoyed it overall. I wasn't like blown away by it.
I think it's kind of interesting because we're kind of in this era where we're starting to see these games that really give me like PlayStation 2 era games where like, you know, I could throw a couple of games in here like Concrete Genie, Kena, and they all feel very classic in terms of how they're designed. And like even like Ratchet and Clank is, it's a big AAA game and everything else, but like that feels like a PS2 game. I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's like it's just stupid fun, and like I'm kind of okay with some games being
cool, man.
Fun.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Yo, I think. Oh, there you go. Okay, good. All right, Kevin deleted it. All right, I don't know what the fuck is going on in them.
They're just like Russian bots. I have no idea
it looks
what
like
they're
it,
doing.
I was gonna say it. Oh shit, that's cool, man. That's awesome, man. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the gunk from but before I jumped to Kevin. Yeah, I played it for like an hour and a half.
Didn't grab you.
No, it didn't, man. It really didn't. Yeah, I even just it's not a bad game.
No,
it just like I'm because like as I was playing, I'm like, yeah. Okay, like I didn't feel like I needed to complete it,
That's
like
good.
to get anything, but I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind at some point. Sure. Kevin, my son, how about you, bro? You still playing Terminator or what, man?
I actually did not. I did not boot up Terminator. I got distracted by my Xbox and Game Pass because that's what I do. I get fucking distracted. Game Pass is the perfect companion for ADD. I played. Is it Gorogoa?
Yes.
Gorogoa? Okay. Yes. So I actually played a couple hours of Gorogoa. I liked it. Some of those puzzles are challenging. I have to be like in the right mood, but it's unique in how it does it. Like it actually started to surprise me as the as the levels went on. So if you're into puzzle, totally chill games, this one's good. You just drag pieces until shit fits and shit works, and then you advance your character while you collect some fragments to make something. I don't even know what the hell the story's about, but but it's okay. I mean, I'd almost want that as a mobile game. I think it would work as a touchscreen mobile game. Then I downloaded Rainbow Six Extraction, and I totally got sucked in. My expectations were so low, like Nick said. Like I thought, all right, it's gonna be complete and utter shit, and it's not complete and utter shit because it's built on a solid game. I mean, Rainbow Six has had some legs on it, Siege, and people still play it. So the shooting mechanics are there. It looks like they've upgraded some of the visuals. Some of the textures seem a little crisper to me than in Rainbow Six Siege, but that could just be, my hallucinations. But some of the zombies or aliens or whatever the hell they are, the microbes, parasites, are pretty cool. Very, they're not doing anything unique in that game. There's a lot borrowed from games like Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood, or Aliens Fireteam type gameplay, but it works. It works, and it runs smooth. It looks good, and I like being able to play it solo. I figured out that you can play it solo, and it's challenging as shit solo though, because I mean you don't get revives, you die and then you end up and they have a cool mechanic where if one of your operators dies, they don't die, they get captured, and then you have to go save that operator. And that operator, if you don't save that operator, then there's XP repercussions, right? So then you lose progression if you don't save that operator. And sometimes operators get injured, which is just their way of forcing you to use other operators, I think. But they're trying to have some uniqueness in the gameplay. So I appreciate it. I mean, it's not a full price game, but why not, right? Game Pass effect. I think it'll do well on Game Pass, and I think people might get sucked in enough to make it a purchase, before it leaves. So I've probably got like 6-8 hours into Rainbow Six Extraction, which is more than I thought I'd play.
Okay, that's a lot.
And I know. And in between that, I finished Max Payne, the OG one. I bought it. I bought it during the Xbox backwards compatibility. So I mean, I've played all the games before. I love Max Payne. All right, I love Max Payne.
Yes.
I've played them all on PC. It has probably been like 10 years since I played Max Payne 1, and probably like 6 or 7 years since I played 3, and I played 2 somewhere in between that. But I finished 1, and I was amazed at how playable it still is. I mean, you feel cramped. You definitely get like a claustrophobic feeling in these tiny levels. The Xbox version played great. It looks okay. I mean, the textures are garbage. The game is 20 years old, but I played it, man. It was good. Like, I didn't find myself saying, "Oh, this is fucking unplayable. I'm done."
It was more like it was like a side smirk, like he was smelling shit the whole game.
It's Sam Lake.
The Sam Lake face.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good. The best part of the game is the comic strips, right? And the voice acting. That's the best part. Like, I really get sucked into the whole story. The whole there's something about it. The narration of the story is really good, and it gets me past the graphics. I just loaded up Max Payne 2, and I started that, and that's much more playable via backwards.
And it looks much better.
It is. It's full screen, like widescreen, as opposed to 4:3, and you can tell they definitely got more out of the hardware at that time. The levels are super big compared to Max Payne 1, which is like a bunch of hallways and then a porta potty that you have a shootout in, and then another bunch of hallways and another porta potty sized room. But it just shows that that these games are classics. Like the fact that I can play this late after its release and it's still around is cool, and I don't want to lose that. So kudos to being able to play old games on new hardware. I actually do want to get through all the Max Paynes. Now I've got the itch, so I think I'm just gonna play through them all. I bought all 3 of them on sale on the Xbox.
You're gonna watch the movie too, right, Kev?
I'm excited. Oh, God.
No. You got to, bro. Come on, it's going all the way in.
All right, so I've never watched it. Is it awful?
It's a detective story, bro, and it is pretty slow. But I mean, it's Max Payne, man. If you really think about it, like I watched it, I don't know, a few months back, and I was like, as lame as this movie is, it's fucking on point.
Let me ask you, Mike. On a scale of 1 to 10, how high were you when you watched the movie? Because I need to know.
It was a throwaway moment, so I could just play whatever movie. That's why. That's why it was Max Payne.
I just needed a guide.
And then I stopped. It stopped me like doing the shit I was doing during the day, and I was like, "This is like literally beat for beat on the game." Yeah. Like, I was impressed. Right. Yeah, I didn't think that beforehand, but this year or last year, 2021.
And is it based on Max Payne 1? Then okay.
And also, Kev, I got a question for you. How difficult or how easy was it for you to get through the baby nightmares where you're like bouncing on the blood?
So
I hate that part.
I hate that shit. So in the first one, there's 1, 2, I think there's like 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah.
At least 2. And what a pain in the ass, man. So what's really nice is I would just go and I'd jump to the next one and I'd quick save. And I'd go and I'd jump to the next one and I'd quick save. And I'd keep quick saving so that when I fell, inevitably I would just start right back up again.
Game, huh?
Yeah, man, because 1 or 2 of those runs and you just want to fucking rip your hair out. And the controls suck in that first one. Oh my
and
God.
The audio
for
was like,
that kind of,
oh my God,
yes, and the baby, just repeating and it does trigger me, man.
Badass level, man.
Yes, it was. That's what.
Then when you fall, the baby
you
gets
cultureless
like
swine. You didn't like that level.
Oh my
it's
God.
Good, but it's also frustrating. It reminds me of the Sonic underwater levels, it's stressful.
Like Sonic 2 underwater.
Yes, it's just stressful, and I at some point I just want to get through it. But overall, that game really works well still to this day. Did you follow that blood trail all the way through? Like, I mean, I don't know.
did you play it properly? Because there was a shortcut that you take. If you get to a certain part of the blood trail, you can jump to another part of the blood trail. If you do it right, you can actually jump and take a shortcut.
I might have. I was jumping a lot.
Yeah, you end up bypassing a lot of it.
It is.
It's all straight.
Some of them are stacked. Yeah. The second or third one has different levels to it that you can jump down, and all in slow motion, all drugged out. Max Payne is such a classic.
I
Dude.
need
was
to, I
just
need to
thinking
play them again, man.
what they attempted to do. There were even set pieces, guys. This was long before
Okay.
Uncharted. You know, there were set pieces with flames following you through a level as you ran through.
Okay.
I mean, think about that. And if it were a new game now, right, it would be
Yeah.
incredible. But they really tried, and they were working with like shoestrings and fucking gum and shit back then. And there's just a lot of heart in those Max Payne games. So if you haven't played it, play them. They're like, I think they're still $8.99 each, and for $9. I don't know, man. I've spent $9 on an Arby's meal that just ended up giving me the shits. So
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. And that's it. I'm actually kind of excited to get back into Rainbow Six Extraction.
Cool,
but yeah, it's a surprise win for me, and maybe it is the fact that I didn't fucking pay for it. That probably has something to do with it. I'm sure. I'm being biased, but
Let me ask you.
Max Payne.
This is a question. Look, whenever a game hits Game Pass, the one thing that you always have to ask yourself is, would you buy it? Now, that's the great thing
Right.
about the service, obviously, right? You're not obligated to buy anything. I mean, you're not really obligated to buy shit, but you know what I mean. But would you pay money for this game? That
No.
means you don't like it that much.
yeah,
Right.
no, I wouldn't, because there are
Hesitation.
just so many other options
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
there
yeah.
that if it wasn't right in my face and it wasn't begging me to download it, then I
Yes.
wouldn't have fucking done it. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
truth of the matter. Will I? But then again, and I'm not gonna get on a tangent, but because it's in your face, because now you have people jumping in on it, I think the chances
Yeah.
of people buying it becomes greater too. So,
I don't think.
give and take
yeah.
there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll play it for a little bit, and like Nick said, I don't know. Like, is it gonna be more? Are they gonna add more shit? Are they gonna make this into something, or they're just gonna? Are you gonna be doing the same fucking city
Right.
levels? 1,700 times. So
Right.
we'll see. Anyway, yeah, that's what I've been up to.
That's cool.
That's
man.
good shit, man. That's awesome. Mike, my son,
Yo.
what have you been playing, bro?
Let's see. I've been more so just backtracking onto like older stuff that I have been into already, and then I've just really been, because of fucking Jordan over here, I've been watching Bloodborne lore videos. Golly, I get lost in that stuff. I fall asleep to that stuff. I'm already invested in it. I'm this close to downloading some sort of Souls game to play again.
Let's go.
I've even breached into a small point. I'm sorry, Jordan, but I have been watching some Elden Ring videos, bro. I can't help myself. I'm so hyped for it.
Okay.
But it's like, I play,
cold.
I play it like, I tread softly basically. So
Okay.
like, I make sure the video is only about intro shit, or it shows footage I've already seen, like that one particular boss battle or whatever.
Okay.
I damn near dove into some unwanted territory last night because I was just so into it, and I was like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. It's a month away. I got to play a whole other AAA title in between, and so like I don't want the hype to die, and I don't want the hype to get so big where it's just like, oh, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So Elden Ring is looking fresh and hot, and it's looking like everything I want it to be. It even like gives me the vibes to want to play Sekiro again, and you guys know my bit on Sekiro. It's always like, halfway. But I'm just kind of like, it's one of those things where I'm in that spot where it's like, we got a bunch of big games coming out. I'm not really playing a game. I'm just playing like a bunch of little like sections of stuff and dabbling into like, I want to feel that new, that new spicy meatball kind of shit,
good.
Yeah, the good, So
Yeah.
I played some Extraction at the time, Kev. I was actually interested going into it a little bit. Like I wasn't gonna think anything major. I was like, oh, it's a zombie game, I'm sure. But I ended up finding out it's aliens. What a surprise! What a twist! But the moment I turned it on, I was like, this looks cool. What's up, Kev?
Oh, sorry. I said or parasites. I don't even know like where the hell they
Okay.
came from. They came from underground.
They're
So,
butterflies.
I don't know. They're butterflies. That's what it is.
Butterflies.
And so, anyways, when I started it, I liked kind of what it was. It wasn't as like dicey as Halo, where it's like on it, But I was like, oh yeah, it's zombies. And then the moment I got into a little room alone and I heard those dudes like whatever, like make their noise, I was like, okay, I'm fucking scared. And I was even in chat with you guys, and I was like, whatever. This is so slow, bro. I'm scared actually. And so, anyways, I made it through, and I shot some dudes or whatever. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good like the basics, like the handling wise, how you like leap and crouch and all the mechanics in that sense. I didn't get to a point to where I was like dropping things down and using my class builds or nothing like that. But the way Kevin describes it, like I'm genuinely interested in it. And because I've played like Aliens, Fireteam, and other games like that, like I kind of like those like 3-man, or I wish it was 4-man. Yeah, I wish it was 4-man, obviously. But yeah, I do dig those 3-man, like back against the wall, like kill everything in sight, like help me up. Oh, now he's dead. I like that, Kevin, what you said about the operators getting injured and stuff like that. That kind of, I feel like that's the new thing, maybe. I'm not sure, like, besides just a revive, you got to go actually, like, extract them from a place.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, there's a whole mechanic.
So it's like, it kind of like, oh, you know, our teammate went down. Now we got to take a whole side trip to go get him back if we care about him that much. Shoulder shrug, whatever, you know, whatever. But yeah, I think that looks interesting, and I do want to like dive into it just a little bit before February 8th or whenever Dying Light comes out or whatever that is, because I mean that'll be the first person like zombie game that I'll probably be leaning heavily towards. Yeah, 500 hours. I got it bookmarked on my schedule. No, I don't. But
got a whole month cleared.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to Dying Light. And then I went back to Mortal Kombat, like I said last week. They got a new season. Still learning shit, like I said. I kind of want to move on to a new character at this time because I feel like
playing with?
Sub-Zero is my main.
Oh,
I was a Noob Saibot. I was a Noob Saibot. I'm telling you, man. I be freezing dudes. They get pissed off. A lot of people play Sub-Zero, and people on Twitter and like people of the fighting game community, they'll be like, if I see another Sub-Zero, I always get fatality the first match. Usually you don't, you know, it's like unwritten rules to not fatality them after the first match because it like you just want to get on to the second match, right? But because I'm Sub-Zero, and I'm sure there's characters like that, because every time I face a Kung Lao, fatality first match. Because fuck those characters. And that's how they feel about Sub-Zero, because, well, he's Sub-Zero. He freezes you, he completely shuts down your flow, and you get a free hit. It's a whole reset mechanic, basically, for Sub-Zero. So I don't blame them. But them motherfuckers be going hard this deep into Mortal Kombat Season 20, whatever it is, you know, which is crazy to me. Like, sure. Fighting game community is always popping. For Honor is another game that I've played. I did mention it last week, but not in regards to, like, the fighting game community. We're watching some For Honor videos just to get, man, like, that dude's channel is thriving. And I'm just like, For Honor, really? And he even spoke about Elden Ring, and they're like, we know a lot of For Honor people. I did mention this last week. For Honor people are Souls fans, and they like that dance, that brutal give and take dance, or whatever it is, you know? And they're like, and I feel like a lot of For Honor players will be rotating over to Elden Ring and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just really surprising to see these games that, like, if you're not total tunnel vision on, like, they still are thriving with them their own selves, and that's why they kind of keep getting these, like that Dragon Ball Fighters DLC comes out soon, Mo, with that android girl and stuff like that, which is so surprising, dude.
Fighting games.
You should try it, Mo. You should try it, bro. I'm telling you, I'll let you beat me up for like 2 hours.
I'll let you take the helm on that one. Look who's coming in a pinch hit, bro.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Is that Mr. Clean?
Hello?
Mr. Clean, Mr.
This is
Clean.
Austin and Joe. How are you? Hi, what's going on? You mentioned Bloodborne 3 times on a podcast. I'm obligated to show up.
Wow. Like Candyman.
Yeah, exactly. Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
How's it going, everybody?
What up,
What's
Joe?
up, brother, man?
Nothing much. Literally today has been, my plans got canceled. And so, like, my whole day has just been binging 30 Rock. It's been,
Wow.
you know. So when Eric dropped out, I'm like, yeah, here I am.
Word. Word. I'll feel you.
Oh, shit. Good to have you here, man. My fucking son did with the pinch hit. Before I get to me real quick, what have you been playing?
Oh, man, me? I played and got to the end of Bloodborne last afternoon. Like, yesterday.
Nice.
Nick's sticking his head, bro.
Sorry. As you're like, so what have you been playing? The seltzer went down the wrong hole, so you go.
Let's go, Mo.
All right, I'm going. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh shit! You gotta get
No,
off
all right, you
camera,
know what?
bro.
No, I'm good now. I swear to God. But yeah, no, that's how much I love Bloodborne. And I have a guilty thing of, I know all the Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC bosses.
Okay.
I watched all of them. I never played it.
Oh.
Why?
I know that feeling.
Because when Old Hunters came out, that's when the holiday season happened. It launched in like November. So I never got into it. And by the time I got to it, I'm like, I really want to wait for that 60 FPS. Like, I want to wait for that remake. I want to wait for that remaster.
Yeah, you and the guy
How's
next to
that
you,
working
bro.
out?
He caved.
I tried.
Yeah, he caved.
Yeah. And so I caved too. So I'm like, let me get to the end.
Yeah.
And I'm literally like, I'm at my favorite fight, Guerman.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, let me go to I'm probably overpowered for the Old Hunters. Probably super overpowered. Let me get into it. Yeah.
What level were you?
Dude, I was like level like 70 something.
Oh,
These guys
fuck
are,
no.
yeah, these guys
Oh,
are mollywopping
Jordan?
my ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
Yeah.
Joe, so I was like watching Jordan play. It was just right before he got to cause, and I was like, so Jordan, just curious, like what level you want? I was expecting 70, 80 max. He said, oh, 91. And I was like, and he was,
Yeah,
dude,
hey,
and
this
he was
guy
getting wiped
just
like a
Yeah.
broom, bro. Like a broom.
Yeah, I expect it with this overachieving asshole. So yeah,
That's what I said, Mo. I was
Hey
like,
now.
boy.
Hey now.
Jordan, have you gotten the platinum, or are you gonna
No,
strive
yeah,
for it?
I was debating on plugging in a USB to hold all that save
Yeah.
file stuff. I was like, I don't care that much. Platinum's kind of suck anyways.
Okay. Well, yeah, PlayStation's
Joe.
dead, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe,
that's
is-
true. That's
Joe,
true.
is this
Yes,
a
it is.
sacrifice you're willing to make?
Little known fact: every time Joe brings up Bloodborne, I mention Zack Snyder. You only have yourselves to blame.
Nice, Luke. Luke.
Nice
I
one,
like
Luke.
Luke, man. I like me some Zack Snyder.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let me get to me real quick. Halo, like always.
Yeah.
Finished that.
Attrition.
Dude, attrition is fun.
It is. It's not bad.
So good.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's a cool little mode. The games go by pretty quick too, so
Yeah.
I like that. And I don't know if it's like some type of precursor to anything battle royale related that they're gonna create. I have no idea, but that whole zone that closes in
Yeah.
around you and forces the game to complete in a sense. Yeah, that's like some shades of battle royale. So I don't know. You know, I really don't care whether the game gets battle royale or not. I don't give a shit. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, I love the game as it is, and I'm always playing it. So whatever. What else am I playing? Max Payne 3.
Tell me, Mo.
So Xbox had a backwards compatible sale the other day, and man, we went off. I think Kevin and I each bought like 8 games.
Mhm.
And then there were some games that I was going to buy, and I had no idea that I actually had them, like Max Payne 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went to buy them in the store, and it says, you own this. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started playing Max Payne 3 again. Surprisingly, obviously, it plays very well if you play Max Payne 3, so the gameplay holds up. And it honestly doesn't look bad. I know they didn't boost it or whatever, but I don't know if it's my TV, because, you know, the new patches and whatever, like the firmware that came out to the CXs a few months ago, it supports, I think it supports VRR for frame rates like at 30 FPS. So I don't know if that's what it is, but compared to like other 30 FPS games that I've played, like there's no stuttering when you're playing it. Like it feels pretty smooth. So I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks pretty good, man. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I played this game like 5 or 6 times. So yeah, so I'm getting through that. And yeah, man, it's so good. God,
It
it's
is. Dude, that Havoc engine with those bullet fizzes and people get
it's
shot in the
so
arm. It's
good, man.
It's just so
So
realistic.
I still hope they boost it one day. Like
Yeah.
it needs to be, it still needs to be boosted. But yeah, let me see. Said that attrition doesn't count towards the medic achievement.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know that.
really? Actually, he's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's right. It should. I don't even know. I don't know if that's going to be in another game mode, Wiley. That might be. But
Here's my thing when it comes to Max Payne 1 and 2. First off, I didn't know it's remastered on Xbox. I'll probably pick that up because that's one of my backlog of shame. Because as a kid, right, and the same goes for God of War. Well, I never played the original. My mother, big into Jesus Cristo, wouldn't let me play anything with the devil. And since
Jesus.
Yeah, Max Payne deals with the occult or something, with the baby scene.
You're a PlayStation guy, and you never played the original God of War trilogy?
No,
he wasn't allowed to.
I wasn't allowed. I was guys. I was like 13.
Sandal.
Yeah,
I would get the chocolate.
Joe. I remember that game.
Blasphemy, bro.
I know. It's true. I know.
So
I know.
Yeah,
my mom saw in the 60 Minutes interview the God of War minigame.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yep.
There was no discussion after that. I remember as a kid, they tried to do a hit piece on Halo, and I was literally I filibustered in front of the TV. I'm like, no, this is not what Halo's about.
Yeah, killing aliens.
Exactly. Yeah. I am a killing machine of aliens. I'm protecting Earth, Mom.
Exactly right.
They don't get it, bro. They don't get it.
In that same.
But I watched my brother play Max Payne, so I can't play it, but I could just watch it on screen.
Yeah.
Stupid goddamn parenting. But yeah.
I wanted to say, Joe, in that same vein, we had a group discussion off stream a couple days ago about playing Manhunt. Which is also a Rockstar game, and that was something that I was telling them I should not have
tell
played.
your story really quick.
Please do. Please. No problem, no worries. I should not have played that game. I did play that game, and it fucked me up. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very violent. I think it's in the sale.
He's
in the sale.
Hey, Kevin's like, hey, should I buy it? And then he's like, no, it's kind of clunky. I'm like, bro, shut up and stop being a bitch, bro. Just buy the freaking game. And then he's like, all right, in reality, it really traumatized me when I was young. I'm like, yeah, see, there's always a reason. It's Manhunt. It's awesome.
Dude,
come on.
It's nuts.
Wiley, you did get your first hot coffee mini game and got. Did that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did,
where it all
man.
began.
See, I was terrible. I was a terrible kid. Hot coffee mod. No, one of my cousins let me play Leisure Suit Larry when I was 7 years old.
Oh man,
Leisure Suit Larry was awesome. My dad would have kicked my ass if I had a game. If I had that game.
I had so many questions as a 7-year-old after that game.
Yeah. Did you play Magna Cum Laude? Leisure Suit Larry. That was one of the offshoots. You don't remember it? It really was, man. Holy shit. Sliderhead says, never played that one. Have you guys ever played The Suffering? Yes, we have, my son.
I'm on you,
Yes,
Slider
we
Hands.
have.
I was literally thinking about that, man. That's the game that fucked me up.
Yes, we have, my son. The Suffering
Dr.
is a
Killjoy.
fantastic game. Yes, sir.
Midway Games.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. God bless them. Rest in peace. Okay. All right, boys. Let's get into the obvious.
Let's get into
in
it.
the room. The unavoidable. The unavoidable. I honestly debated even if I wanted to talk about this anymore. Ask these guys. Like I was telling them last night or 2 nights ago. I'm like,
For sure.
and the thing is I told Nick to come on the show on Tuesday, like a few minutes after the announcement. I was like, hey, you want to come on the show? So, and at the same time, I'm like, man, do we even talk about this? What are we gonna say that has not been said already? Right. So I figured Jordan convinced me. He's like, look, man, we've all wanted to talk about it. It seems like, we've been going back and forth all week in group chats or whatever it is. There's some shit you want to get off your chest, whatever. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. So here we are. So the obvious is Activision Blizzard being bought by Microsoft for whatever 69 billion or 70 or whatever fucking astronomical ridiculous number that it's unbelievable. So obviously it was announced on Tuesday, and we all know about the magnitude of it and how it's shaking up gaming and whatever. I'm going to talk about the franchises from Activision, because that's the angle that I want to go with. And then I'm just going to go around to you guys and see what you guys' take is, on it. Obviously, Activision is a cash cow. For them to be worth 10 times what Bethesda was, even though me personally, I don't think what Activision produces is worth 10 times what Bethesda was paid for. Personally, I think ZeniMax just has a richer library, but that's just me. I do. And I looked at this and I was like, okay, ZeniMax, the ZeniMax purchase was to spice up the brand, right? You bought Bethesda, you got Wolfenstein, blah, 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 Doom, everything there, right? So now you got Elder Scrolls and whatever. So that was really to spice up the brand. That was to really, be like, hey, we're fucking serious right now, right? And then when I looked at this, when this happened, I looked at it less to spicing up, or to spice up the Xbox brand, and more as a power move to become the biggest publisher in the world, right? I don't look at this, like there was a lot of all this fucking fanboy bullshit, but everybody was looking at it. They're like, oh, holy shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, of course, Microsoft can afford it, but I was looking at it. I'm like, they really want to become the biggest publisher in the world, right? And this strikes me a little bit different than the Bethesda move, because the Bethesda move, yes, like I said, you got all those sexy franchises. You're kind of seducing people to come to Game Pass little by little, and they're fucking coming clearly. But with this one, I looked at it as just a pure publishing move. I didn't see it as oh yeah, we're going to put all these on Xbox and we're going to keep everything away. Now, I was wrong about Bethesda. Like, I was wrong about Skyrim. I was. But the only thing that I thought about was Call of Duty, right? Because that's really that's the biggest franchise that they have, whether you like Call of Duty or not. It's their biggest cash cow. Obviously, we're not talking about King or the mobile games or whatever it is. And with Call of Duty, what really it reminded me of Minecraft, because when Microsoft bought Mojang, they kept Minecraft on PlayStation. They kept supporting it, and they're still supporting it to this day. And Minecraft Dungeons even came to PlayStation. They didn't have to do that, right? At least that's how I looked at it. I'm like, okay, if Minecraft Dungeons could have been a pure Xbox exclusive, and I don't think anybody would have batted an eye at that decision, right? But It wasn't. So that's how I'm looking at it with Call of Duty. And then, then there was interviews with Phil Spencer, and he said, we're going, everybody started fucking focusing in on the whole Desire thing. We have a desire to keep this on PlayStation, and everybody's trying. I know, bro.
That's the thing that triggered me the most.
I know. That really was the thing that bothered the shit out of me, because everything was dissected like, oh, well, he said desire, and everybody's talking about contracts and shit I don't care about. I'm like, look, bro, this is a very public move that he's making a year and a half before this deal closes. They didn't make any types of these. At least I don't remember these types of public announcements being made before the Bethesda deal was even closed, right? He was kind of beating around the bush, he wasn't giving any clear answers. This time he just comes straight out and he's like, hey, this is what we're this is what we're doing, and I just want the PlayStation fans to know we have every intention of keeping it, blah, blah, blah. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but people were focusing in on the desire word too much, and I personally think that they're going to keep Call of Duty. I think everything else can be up in the air, right? If you really think about it, StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo, traditionally these are PC franchises, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, Diablo is on console and it definitely has a good following, but at the end of the day, these are PC franchises. So you can keep those on PC. You can keep Diablo exclusive, sure, Crash Bandicoot, I love Crash. I think we all do. Crash 4 was an amazing title that just didn't sell that well. I don't know why. And all of a sudden everybody's excited about Crash, but you motherfuckers didn't buy the game. So, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous, really. So yeah, Call of Duty for me is the biggest purple elephant. It's the purple elephant in the room. And from my perspective, I think it's going to stay.
Yeah.
Not from Warzone. Not just Warzone, because everybody's picking on Desire and Community, and they're like, oh yeah, if he's talking about Community, he's talking about Warzone. And then all I heard was, PlayStation benefits a lot from Call of Duty, right? And then I'm like, do you motherfuckers know that PlayStation is probably Activision's biggest Call of Duty market? Call of Duty Mobile aside, I'm talking about console,
yes.
PC, Xbox. Do you guys understand how big the PlayStation brand is for Activision? Like when it comes to Call of Duty, it's huge. So you can sit here, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, keep it exclusive, bring all these people to Game Pass and whatever. I think Call of Duty itself will be treated like Minecraft. I truly think so. You know, and
It is.
You know, yeah, but that's my personal opinion. And that's pretty much like all I want to say about this. I know everybody's going to, and you know, but that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But Joe, what about you, man? What do you think?
Yeah, as Mr. PlayStation in the room, you would think I'm like, this is the worst news. I'm gonna change my goddamn name to the Achievement Hall. I'm already getting the Phil Spencer PNG images ready for in the file for my thumbnails. But this is really exciting news if you're an Xbox fan and PlayStation fan. So let me first tackle the Call of Duty thing. Yeah, he has the desire and the want, right, to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. PlayStation is Call of Duty's biggest market in terms of consoles, right? By a goddamn leap. So you don't want to anger a fan base or alienate a fan base, and especially while the FCC is looking at, or FTC is looking at your company, going, there may be some fuckery afoot, and we need to take a look at this, and we're going to scrutinize this deal, because we're already scrutinizing tech giants because they are in your cars, your phones, your everything. So we really want to make sure that this doesn't lessen competition. So that tweet does many things. It says, when it talks about hour, it means hour is literally about Sony and Microsoft. It's our desire to keep this going. He can't say that he's going to 100% do this because he doesn't own the company yet. So he can only talk about what he wants to do. Yes. You cannot alienate millions of people just because you worship a plastic box, fanboys. That's not how this works. So Call of Duty stays and is probably given an olive branch to PlayStation so that it doesn't lessen their competition, so that they don't look for outside investors to go and do what Microsoft's doing, right? At the same exact time, this is Microsoft putting their foot in the dirt here, or their flag in the dirt here, and saying, we're in here, Apple, Amazon. We see that you want to come in here, but it's going to take about $100 billion to do it. So do you want to do it? Because you got to be $100 billion certain, because they missed the boat on literally everything from Zune to the goddamn Twitch streaming. They've missed the boat on it all, and they want to be all in on games before someone else outdoes them. So this deal's great if you're Microsoft in that way. And if you're PlayStation, now you know, as fans, Spartacus has to kick ass. Right? They have to throw a shit ton of money of both strategic partnerships, acquisitions, and their own development teams to grow them, to make sure you have content nonstop for years to come. That's what we've been wanting as PlayStation. They're gonna get weird again. So to me, yeah, this is awesome. It's breeding creativity. I don't give a shit whatever other people want to tell you. But to me... This is awesome if you're PlayStation or Microsoft. No one's dying. No one's getting out of shit. Everybody breathe in and out. It's going to be fine.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, no, pretty much you're on the same page as I am. Because,
it's nice.
You know, and on top of that too, he also, you know, again, like he said, this was more of a move against Apple, Google, whatever, right? Because he feels like the one cool thing really... We're not going to turn this into a Phil Spencer jizz fest, you know, because we just, you know, we like the guy.
I got these knee pads out for nothing. Is this what you're telling me?
Nick, I'm about to get to you in a second because I want to pick your brain on it. But the one thing that I love is you really can tell, you know, even though, like, it's serious money. It's not like, you know, there's a lot of discussion and conversation and planning that goes into this. But the point I'm trying to make is, for him to come out and make these types of statements, you know, about saying like protecting, he's basically, to paraphrase, he's protecting gaming from these companies, right? Because he sees how it can potentially go and he doesn't want that. And for him to just come out and say, you know, I trust Nintendo and I trust Sony because they've been in it for so long, and these are. It's a good, whether it's PR or not, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see anybody from Nintendo saying that, and you're not going to see anybody from PlayStation saying that, right? So the fact that he's able to convey that type of message, even with this type of move, that's the other thing for me too, man. He's not. I don't think they're out. I think obviously they're out to, like you said, plant the flag, take a chunk of the market, right? Clearly, but I don't think that. Personally, I think at least with him, because he's a traditionalist, when it comes to gaming, and he grew up probably playing PlayStation and Nintendo and whatever, I don't think he's out to fucking bury them. This is my personal opinion. I don't. From a business perspective, yeah, sure, but I don't know. Yeah. But Nick, what do you got, bro?
Well, let me just hold on. Let me just.
He's getting ready right now.
Modern Warfare.
Oh, he was ready with the prop. Yes.
Let me drink from my.
Oh wow.
Yes.
First minute. Look at this guy.
Ready.
Look. I've got a lot of respect for Activision on a lot of things. I know that's a weird thing to say with everything that's been going on. Mm-hmm. My best friend growing up, his first job was working for Activision. He didn't work for Activision Blizzard. He worked specifically in PR for Call of Duty. And
that's cool.
I've always had a great relationship talking with him and everything else. And, there's a lot of stuff that needs changed in that company. And I think that, that's one thing that kind of gets glossed over with everything that's going on here. And I think that was the biggest thing that bugged me about the announcement, was how many people were willing to throw out a complete year of conversation we had about Activision Blizzard to go, aha, I got Call of Duty, fuck you. It's like, no, I'm not willing to plant my flag on that. There's a lot of cool stuff that could come from this, and I agree with the idea. I don't think Phil Spencer's out there cackling in a boardroom going, ha ha ha, fuck PlayStation. I don't think he's doing that. I think Microsoft is very much like Joe said. They want to be day one on something. They're tired of. They haven't been day one on something since OS. Basically, they bought Skype. They fucked that up. Now they're trying to make it Teams, which is somehow even worse than what Skype was, which I don't even know how you do that. But Discord does everything better than Skype does. All their competitors are always one-upping them in their field, even if they were the first ones in that field. So now they're looking at cloud gaming and gaming as an overarching, going, hey, this is something we're serious about. This is something we can do better than Google. This is something we can do better than Apple. Let's face it, who's talking about Google Stadia anymore? Honestly, I know one. I know two guys. I know one guy, and he unfollowed me when I said one critical thing about Google Stadia.
Hey, let me tell you one thing. I'm sorry. Because I said Days Gone was an okay game last week or 2 weeks ago, somebody unfollowed me over it. It's like a Days Gone fan. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. People out there, are man. Sensitive, baby. Anyway, yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But overarching, this deal is a landslide deal in terms of its value and everything else. And I think why so many people are uncomfortable is gaming is rapidly changing at a rate that we've never seen before. The past 5 years that we've seen, there's been more acquisitions, money changing hands, and studio expansions than we've ever seen. Period. I'm talking whether that's Microsoft and PlayStation opening up support studios to support their bigger studios. We're talking about acquisitions. Sony's buying up every partner basically they have. Everyone's locking down the people they work with because loyalty is not as thick as money is. And when you have things like Embracer Group, Tencent, and everything else dogpiling in, trying to get a piece of the pie, you have to lock down your partnerships. Because, say for argument's sake, Activision Blizzard gets bought by Tencent. What is the scale of what happens to Activision Blizzard under, Tencent's control?
Who knows?
What are they going to do long term? Whereas Xbox it fits their mold, and it kind of makes me laugh because so many people have dismissed Activision Blizzard as Call of Duty. You can tell because everyone's arguing about where Call of Duty is going to go. No one's talking about the fact that this fits very well into what Xbox likes to do with their acquisitions. They've got a bunch of smaller IP in there. They've got IP that kind of fits for their studios too. Like Raven Software might as well be id Software, except they're, relegated to doing Warzone map updates. And I think the most exciting part of this whole acquisition is, once again, something nobody was talking about, was Phil Spencer going, yeah, we kind of want these developers to make their own games again. We don't want to shoehorn them into, why is Toys for Bob working on Warzone? Why is Raven Software only doing Warzone? Why can't we look at and go, hey, why can't we do a Spyro game? Why can't we, Heretic? There's all these great smaller IPs that they're sitting on that, they can use. And I think that's really exciting. And what I really want to see is, I want to see Xbox go through and over the next year, as soon as they take acquisition, I want them to absolutely gut the leadership of Activision Blizzard front to back.
Oh, yeah.
Get all those problematic people. I just sit down with the employees and go, all right, who's the problem people? And they go, this person, this person, this person, this person. Send them.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is if Microsoft's money will be a waste if they don't fix the culture first. If they don't make those employees feel safe and like they can be creative, that $70 billion was for nothing. Because Call of Duty is in a straight shot down because all the developers are burned out. The studios are stumbling. They can't get their projects out the door on time because they're in this deadlock cycle. They need to change how Activision Blizzard does things. Yes. And I think the biggest challenge ahead for them is the fact that Activision Blizzard's going this way and Xbox does things this way. And they need to somehow get that into the middle of the road. And I think that's the biggest challenge ahead. And that's the most important challenge ahead, because I could care less about who can or can't play Call of Duty, and I want to see more of my developer friends feel like they can be safe at work, at home, and that they can be creative and expressive in their own safe environments.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's pretty good. The other thing too, really, I do think that they're going to change the culture in a bit, because if you look at the governing body, I guess, if you want to say, of their gaming division, it's pretty fucking diverse, man. It's pretty diverse. It's really impressive, like what they've done, with just bringing people of every color and every gender and whatever it is, they got I do think, once this deal is done, they'll definitely go in that direction for sure. They'll get rid of that. They'll get rid of that poison slowly.
And
Jordan,
they have to. And Activision has the obligation to do it right now.
They're not going to. Yeah.
Well, they already fired like 40 people, right? So they need to do that. They need to get their shit together quick. And that Nicholas, you hit it out of the park.
I'll add the one legal caveat that I actually double checked with a friend who's a legal aid on the one thing, because I saw a lot of people, and myself being one of these people, why is Kotick still here? And the main reason Kotick's still here is he's $236 million to fire, and Activision Blizzard, until they're owned by Microsoft, they have to pay that out of their pockets if they want to fire him. So what Activision Blizzard's doing is they're like, hey, Kotick's here. If you don't want him to be here when you take us over, you can pay the $236 million and get him out of the office.
He's going to get paid regardless. He owns stock in the company. He owns a lot of stock. That's what people forget. So he's going to get cashed out. We don't like it, but it's going to happen.
It's Gene Park said it wonderfully. It's been in the newspaper industry for decades, is that CEOs, executives fall up, and then eventually they'll get paid out of the industry in exorbitant fees. And you'll never hear of Bobby Kotick again after this, because he'll go off on a yacht to a private island and just be an asshole somewhere else.
Yeah.
I just hope he gets Joseph Stalin. He's just sitting in a restaurant. He's eating crab ragu or some fucking rich people food. He starts just choking on it, and just everybody just stares until he dies. That's just what I kind of want,
Damn, bro.
That's all I want.
How you really feel, baby?
Oh, man.
Just the little things for me is what I'd like.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, my ambassador's son.
no,
How does
no.
this make you feel, bro?
Dude, I don't feel a whole lot of things. You guys already kind of summed up things honestly very, very well. For me personally, like Nick kind of touched on all the things that I was mostly interested in, just seeing all of those studios under the Activision umbrella kind of hopefully get this opportunity now to just kind of flex their own skills as opposed to just being relegated to support everything. That's mostly what I just want to see. I just want to see creators get to create. I'm me personally. Call of Duty doesn't do squat for me in terms of engagement, but obviously it's gonna make a bunch of money either way. So that's a good investment on their part. I think in regards to cleaning up the culture at Activision. Obviously Microsoft has been a very progressive organization in terms of always putting diversity and inclusion forward. So I think that we can be confident that they'll be able to do that. But no, honestly, that's the biggest thing for me. I've avoided much of this conversation just because I know it's been talked ad nauseum, and not to dismiss anything, but obviously our space here that we talk amongst here, that we address on the Twitterverse and everything. We are but a fraction of the gaming industry as a whole. We have mobile gamers. King is going to be huge, obviously, but yeah, we can be an echo chamber at times here. But at the end of the day, if we had to kind of loop it all back in terms of what it's all about, is just trying to play more games, better games, and that's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. No, that's good. That's well said.
That's it.
My son Kevin, I see you taking notes, baby. I see you taking notes, bro. I know you. Your mic is muted, my son.
Muted. He's too excited.
Oh, I was so excited.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, baby. I wanted to hit on a couple things with this, since it has been talked about endlessly for the last week, and we mostly talk about games here. But this is a huge deal, and it even it's even a huge deal outside of the industry. It's just a big buyout, right? With the console space, Mo and you guys hit on that pretty well. There's not much else to talk about there. Nothing's set in stone until the purchase is actually done. So I'm speculating whether or not COD's gonna be Xbox exclusive is garbage until shit actually happens. What Microsoft has done is throughout history they've always either stolen, borrowed, or bought their way to where they're at. This goes down to even DOS and DOS, and how they basically stole Xerox's operating system and ran with that, right? They've had problems with creativity. So this to me is kind of exciting because yes, they're buying these studios, but they also have huge backing to maybe let the creativity kind of flow with these studios. Like if they're not crunched for money and their toxic leadership is gone, then maybe they will flourish and create some great games. That's what I'm hoping out of the console space. Now let's move to the mobile space, because King is worth just
Disgusting.
makes a ton of money, okay? And that's the Candy Crush bullshit that my wife's on level 75,000, which is hard as balls too, by the way. That shit is no joke. But they definitely want in on that mobile space, and I think people are overlooking the King acquisition, and just because we're console gamers, right?
Right.
And I don't know that a lot of us are very excited about the mobile space, but it is just huge, way bigger than the console space. So I think they wanted that dominance, that in that market, and and it came bundled with some other awesome IPs, right? So why not get Diablo and StarCraft and COD, and also get King and be right in dead center in that mobile space? So it's strategically it's huge for Microsoft, and I've heard a lot of rhetoric over the last week about how PlayStation doesn't do it the same way as Microsoft. And yes, there's a huge culture cultural difference between this giant American, conglomerate and, this other giant Japanese conglomerate. And being that one is West and one is East, right then and there, the cultures are different. But PlayStation's going to do what PlayStation does, and I think they'll be doing it regardless of who they're under, who they're over, and they love to play the game that they're playing, and I think there's room for that. I don't think that's going anywhere. It's exciting to see Activision come under the Microsoft helm for all the reasons that you guys described. Get rid of that toxic leadership, get these guys doing something other than COD. I mean, that was kind of sad news when they basically said, yeah, we're all just going to do fucking COD. That's that's it. Your life is COD. Scrap all this other shit. COD. I hope that in a year this is more fleshed out and we kind of see, where this is taking us, and can see more into the future at that point. Because right now it's just, I mean, they're still getting all through the legalese, right? And the org charts aren't filled out yet, and they're trying to figure out what's what. So it's too early to tell, but I think this is good news, and I don't think it's a huge. I think people are scared that gaming's going in a different direction, and change is scary, right? But change is the only thing that's a constant, and this is where it was going one way or another. So if it wasn't Microsoft, it would have been somebody else, and potentially somebody worse, or somebody like I don't like Tencent, right? And the way that they do business, and that would have scared me more. But I also wonder if it was Tencent, if it would have been such a big deal, right? Because of the console war bullshit. That's really what it comes down to.
That's the thing. It's like
bullshit.
Yeah, the console war bullshit drowns out the actual conversation, because it's all like, I've seen it. There's some channels like it's been this whole week. It's like, how much more can you say on this, man? But it's you
really can't.
How many people that are praising Call of Duty were the ones that just shit on it when compared to Halo Infinite a couple months ago?
Right. Mo, right?
You motherfuckers, all of you.
But like, that's the thing, because like, if this was Tencent, I would have said this is scary as shit. Because all of a sudden we have this like Chinese party entity in mobile in all of our phones, and if that doesn't creep you out, I don't know what does. So like, to me, I'm like, that would be very alarming. So yeah, it is better that Xbox, Microsoft takes it than anyone else, but
no doubt, bro.
It is what it is, and it's just enough of the console bullshit, because there's so much more to this. There's so much more fun stuff to this.
I've heard some ridiculous. I'm telling you, like, there's been some ridiculous. Like even today on CV's on SG, just like some of the shit that we saw. Right? It's like, well, why would Xbox do this? Because if PlayStation did it, like they would keep it away.
Yeah.
I'm like what?
Real talk.
No, I'm like what? Explain to me, right? Third-party deals, everybody does them.
Yeah.
Everybody does them. Third-party exclusivity. What else? Are you mad that Sony is keeping their own IPs on their own platform? Is that what it is? Or are you mad about Spider-Man or Wolverine?
And they'll always point that shit out.
They don't own those IPs.
They don't.
Everybody's like, oh, they're locking them away. Like, bro, no. They just made a deal with Marvel, and Marvel wants Insomniac to fucking make the games.
Until the day that they don't see the profit they want from Spider-Man is when they'll tell them, put it on another platform. Yeah. That's how this works. And it's not like, listen, I get the alarmist way of thinking of things, because the whole like Insomniac versus Activision deal is not a 1-to-1. It isn't.
Not at all.
It's like you literally bought,
it's a drop in the ocean, bro.
It's
$225 million is what they paid for that studio. That's
exactly. and like the Spider-Man IP alone doesn't equal that of Call of Duty, the most popular franchise in the world. So it's like, I understand that sentiment. It is worrying to see all of a sudden this massive change. Like Kev, you said hit it out of the park. People are scared of change, and people are definitely worried about a $69 billion change. So, like, I understand why you could be skeptical, and you should, and I understand why people would be excited, and you should be there as well. You could take either road and be
absolutely
okay with it.
Yeah. Actually, to piggyback on what Joe's talking about too, is like the thing is like one of the things, the one-to-one comparisons drive me crazy, especially like whenever someone brings up Insomniac versus whatever this is. They paid $70 billion because Call of Duty and Candy Crush. That's why. That's IP value.
That's forever money, bro.
Insomniac Games, the reason why they paid $229 million for Insomniac Games is because PlayStation owns all their IPs.
Yeah,
the
they do.
studio is only worth the manpower. That's all that studio
I wish
is.
more people fucking knew this.
They spent 220. The thing with the Insomniac deals, it's a beautiful thing because they spent $229 million on just people. They believed in those people and spent $229 million.
It's still the steal of the century for that.
It still is the absolute steal of the century because Insomniac Games has been one of the best studios in the United States for at least 2 decades. And that's a great steal. But when you start talking Call of Duty and like the whole argument of financials, I took financials in high school, so I'm dumb, but I'm not like super dumb, right? But like when I see someone, they're like, well, you need 75 million Game Pass subscribers for them to make their money back on this acquisition. I'm like, Call of Duty made $3 billion fucking dollars last year. $3 billion. Candy Crush, King Mobile literally was in an article last year because they were like, yeah, we make on average like $26 million a day. I'm just
That's
like,
just fucking ridiculous.
like
It's ridiculous.
Microsoft didn't buy studios. They bought a money printing machine. That's what they bought. And the studios are a benefit because it's the same thing as the metaverse bullshit. They're saying they're like, we bought Blizzard Activision for the metaverse. I'm like, is this what Spencer told Sadia? Is like, yeah, we could use this for the metaverse. Buy this. This is metaverse shit. Like, the whole fact this buyout happened because Microsoft couldn't buy TikTok is hilarious to me. They just had $70 billion sitting around and Phil's
burning
like,
a
hey,
hole through their pocket.
Activision's like, hey, we kind of want to sell. And they were like, yeah, let's throw this deal together in like a month over the holidays. That's insane. And like the absolute fact of the matter is if anyone thinks that Xbox is done at this point, is Xbox still has $86 billion in cash. Sorry, Microsoft has $86 billion plus dollars in cash they have to spend before the end of the fiscal year because of inflation. So maybe Microsoft buys something big and stupid. I imagine they would at some point. And maybe it won't be about gaming, but this isn't the end for this. And
it's just the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to see people come in here you never thought that would come in here. You're going to see people from Hollywood. You're going to see people from tech come into this space because this space is, if you're Mr. Hollywood, there's a lot of creativity here and a lot of money here. And if you're part of tech, it's about that dumb fucking metaverse that takes 20 minutes to explain, let alone understand, and money here. And those, like, these corporations that are coming in, companies, they're going to be buying and picking up and partnering with studios. And if you think Microsoft's done, they ain't. If you think Sony is thinking about it, they probably are. And if you think, some stupid, I don't know, Hollywood studio's gonna come in here and start partnering with weird indie games, you absolutely are damn right they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's the same thing as I was laughing because I said on my podcast back when Take-Two bought Zynga there a few weeks ago. And people are like, well, why would Take-Two buy Zynga? I'm like, A, it's a mobile game company, so it's a cash printing machine. And B, Take-Two just increased their valuation by $10 billion. Guess what? No one's going to be hostile buying Take-Two anytime soon because Take-Two just went from a $10 billion company to a $20 billion company.
Yeah.
And the thing is Microsoft is overpaying for Activision and they overpaid for Bethesda. There is a 50 to 60% markup on what they paid for ZeniMax and what they paid for Blizzard Activision. The actual worth of Blizzard Activision is around $35 billion, and they had to almost double that in order to buy it out. Same thing as Bethesda deal. The rumored price for Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition was like $3.6 billion. Microsoft closed it out for $7.5. These aren't cheap deals to do. Not everyone's going to do these deals. I just want to be in a position where we don't see a tech company come in and buy Nintendo or buy PlayStation. I want PlayStation and Nintendo to keep growing and expanding so that we don't have Apple, Google, whatever come in and go, hey, we can do this better. They can't. Google Stadia proves they have no fucking idea what they're doing. The goddamn Phil Spencer statement where he was like, we trust PlayStation and Nintendo, it's because they know gaming. They know, is Phil Spencer happy that, PlayStation only gets Final Fantasy? Probably not in the long run, but it's part of the deals they do.
He understands, man. He knows.
He doesn't want Google to come in, buy, Call of Duty or Activision, go, haha, you can only play Call of Duty on Stadia.
Yeah.
No.
That's I think we all hit it on. Mike, you've been quiet, bro. You got anything to add to this?
I'm just soaking it all in, man. This isn't really my cup of tea, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but when Nick was talking, though, I was like, so are we looking at a situation where it's like, I'm Xbox, right? And I'm like, yo, we're sending one of the hunter killers down to this company to square shit away and like start firing fools and dusting people away, being like, this is how we're going to do productivity now. This is what we're going to do. Like, is that what we're looking at? Where like Xbox is going to kind of start probing into these studios / companies that they have bought and like try like kind of change it their way. Oh man, I bet some of those workers and didn't just like, and I'm not gonna say the word, but didn't Activision Blizzard have a serious ordeal not too long ago?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Sexual harassment.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Dude, I'm just like thinking, I'm fly on the wall worker, run of the mill, everyday worker. I bet they were like, yes, Now, what it means to gaming, just to hit on some console war stuff, I feel like in video games, I've talked to my guys about this a little bit. Video games is one of those things where it's easy to, when you talk badly about one thing, whether it be console war or a game itself, as a fan of that thing, you feel like hurt. And now in knowing that psychology and knowing in how like Twitter and all that like controversial shit works, all you got to do, it's easy to do that, basically, is what I'm saying. It's easy to sit there and be like, yeah, Xbox sucks. What are you going to do about it, chat? Like I said, like, I don't play that shit. Now, or you understand, I'm obviously being like role-playing here. Yeah. But, it's easy to say that. And on the, but so not only is it easy to say that, but it's also easy as a person seeing that stuff to like get hurt about it, upset or whatever. Whenever I see people talk shit about games that I super love, like DMC or just games that get obvious hate, I'm just like, man, this fool don't know what he's talking about. Same thing with console wars. And I feel like there's just a lot of more people who like take that bait and take that sinker and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this with this guy right here, right now, But then, maybe because I was also thinking too, Joe, you said this. I was also thinking too, like, Xbox is super America. Like, it looks America now. With all these first-person shooters, it's that first-person, like, American, like, style.
America, yeah.
And then you got PlayStation, which is Japanese, and they obviously have a different aesthetic, a different style, a different, like, it is very much two entities. Have we seen this before with other companies, like, DirecTV, I think, AT&T, and those type of Discovery type of things? In the gaming world, nobody gave a fuck. Were there people talking about that, like, on their low, like, oh, my phone service is changing. Like, what the fuck? They do it better. Were they? I don't know. Like, is there that much, like, I don't want to say fandom, or whatever, but people drive behind brands, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Mike, because when T-Mobile and Sprint merged into one company, there wasn't, like, this parade in the streets. There was a lot of scrutiny of, like, what does this mean if I'm a T-Mobile person? What does this mean if I'm Sprint? And, what does this mean if I'm the competition like, Verizon or AT&T? It's like, it is a weird scenario that oftentimes when we see consolidation, we're just like, we're cheering for it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, like, video games at this very point in time is a huge market.
Bigger than what I think people think it is. Bigger than that.
Oh, it's massive, man. It's massive. Mike, Wiley was surprised that you're not a fan of COD because you're a Marine. You want to address that real quick?
The thing about Call of Duty, Wiley, is I played it a lot while I was in the military. Modern Warfare 2 days, 1 and 2, and a little bit of 3. And because I was actually doing it, by the time I was done with the military, the whole idea of what Call of Duty was, I was just completely over it. I just like, whatever. It's just like, I've been there. I actually did this kind of stuff. And like, it was such a hardcore ordeal for me that I was like, I am fucking good on this. Like, I've only played Warzone since then, and I enjoy it still. But even to this day, I am just like, find me a fucking dragon and a fire sword right now. You know, like when it comes to realistic military stuff, I'm just like, oh, I'm okay on that. But yeah. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, I was just kind of just saying like the ideas and opinions and like basically like the way of their gaming lifestyle is, whether you're Xbox or PlayStation, it is so different whenever you compare the two. So just like I said, it's just easy to slip into the console war stuff. And I feel like we all have that feeling when you see something you don't really like and you're just like, like, yeah, you're right. I don't like what you said, but I could definitely give you something that could hopefully change your mind if you're an open-minded person, you know, stuff like that. And so that Discord, like you said, Joe, it gets muddled. It gets foggy up in there where you're just kind of like, oh, holy shit. Can I even have a decent conversation like with an outside person that's not within my friend group or my clique? And that's where it starts to get like, is it okay if I say this about like a certain game? As I feel like as long as you always end it with, that's my opinion, you're in the clear, you know what I mean, or whatever. Yeah. But as a dude who's not like super into this type of stuff, just because it just blows my mind, then you got to start talking about words like monopoly. Is it good? Is it bad? Like, it interests me, but I could not speak on it for myself. All I know is that, like you said, Joe, it is not going to stop. There will always be that growth between the companies. Like, hey, and don't forget, Nintendo exists too. All right, so they're still selling Mario for $60,
and they're fired.
Can we talk about that? It's like when Blizzard Activision got bought, PlayStation fans were freaking out, Xbox fans were freaking out. Nintendo Switch guys were, I don't know, playing Pokemon or doing whatever. Like,
enjoying their goddamn lives.
Nintendo podcasts went on. And like nobody cared.
Nobody batted an eye, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a good transition into this little. I want to touch on it real quick. This is a good transition into Sony's imminent death. Okay, so obviously, we incorporate all this shit that's being said in the small gaming bubble that we engage with every day. But everybody's always like, oh, what's gonna happen to Sony? Are they gonna die? Blah blah blah. I'm looking at it. I'm like, they have some of the most popular IPs in the world. They still have the best selling console in the world. They still sell it at a faster pace than anybody. Obviously, if you don't count Nintendo. I think they'll have to alter their trajectory. I really quickly, for me at least. But that doesn't necessarily mean, we've always said these two companies operate differently, right? And they're both successful in their own way. I'm talking about the gaming divisions. Okay, this is not to suck the titty of Microsoft. I'm just talking about the Xbox gaming division versus PlayStation. I think these two companies have always operated differently, but they've just done it in a way where they're both successful, whether Xbox does it through Game Pass or whether Sony keeps doing it with their traditional model. Now, I don't know if the Game Pass model is putting pressure on Sony to kind of deliver on that end as well, with this whole, talk of the rumored service that they have, and we don't even know what this service is going to be. We know damn well it's probably not going to offer day one. It's not going to happen. But as far as like Sony having to respond You know, the whole dramatic bullshit.
It's a great phrase. I love that phrase.
You know, like, yeah, like I don't think that they necessarily, you know, because these people are so narrow-minded, so they all think of it as like a tit for tat thing. It's like, oh, how are you gonna do it? It's like, no, bro. You know, they have people there that are going to figure things out and, you know, alter their trajectory a bit. And if that means going that route, then so be it. But I personally can't see it. I don't know how. I don't know what they're, you know, what they're going to do with the service. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to offer with it and whatnot. But as far as like third party, I think if Call of Duty ends up staying on Sony, which I fully believe that it's going to, as I said earlier, you know, no water under the bridge. But, or I'm sorry, like, I mean, it's just going to be like whatever. But the one thing that Sony should wake up to, and I think they may have with their studio acquisitions recently, you know, them making a AAA shooter, free to play shooter. I think it's hard to ignore the fact that Sony just doesn't have any shooters, any premium shooters other than third-party titles on their platform. If this is going to be a wake-up call for them to maybe bring back Resistance, to maybe bring back whatever the hell it is, to create a free-to-play a free-to-play shooter that's going to take off and make money for them through microtransactions or whatever it is, then this has to be it, right?
Totally
if they
agree,
let's just say if they lose Call of Duty, then okay, then you lost Call of Duty. They'll figure out ways to make that up. But again, like that relationship with them and Activision, where it's just mutually beneficial financially, if they end up losing that, okay, you know, but I think they do. I think they are addressing that gap. It's a big gap, you know, I mean, that they have. And I do think that at least from that perspective, they'll deliver on it. I don't think they're tripping about Diablo if it goes exclusive. I don't think they're tripping about Crash. As I said earlier, the sales weren't really all that. Which is really fucking weird considering.
Well,
that
actually, Mo, once I heard the announcement, I bought Crash on Xbox just to celebrate it.
Oh god, man! They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, so you didn't buy it when it came out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago? Now
I just decided now. I got excited.
Oh my god, man! What an unbelievable! That's such a great game, man. Go fucking play Crash 4, man. Play it because it's Crash 4, not because it's fucking owned by Xbox.
I hope they keep Crash Bandicoot exclusive to PlayStation because Trash Bandicoot truly belongs on PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I mean, it's weird, you know, but it's just so weird how things have come full circle. But really quick with you guys, before we get to our dramatic takes, do you guys think, like, I mean, you know, with Sony, do you guys think like this is going to be a, you know, just what do you think? You know, like, I mean, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Joel, let me start with you really quick.
Yeah. PlayStation's dead.
Yeah, they're fucking dead.
We're holding a funeral service at the trophy room next week, where we'll have our new name reveal. Yeah. Where it's the Xbox, or sorry, it's the Achievement Hall, the Xbox show within a PlayStation podcast where Phil Spencer smells nice and we worship him as a god. Perfect. Or we change it back to the Nintendo Nook where we make magic and get back to work. So we're really excited. We don't know which podcast is gonna be. That's it. I'm scared like my whole house.
Joel's whole family's like, what the hell's going on in there?
Is he zooming with a sweatshop? Anyway, so what I think's happening at Sony, and what I think is probably happening everywhere is everyone's freaking out at this news. Like it ain't just Sony. It's probably definitely Ubisoft because they're kind of a garbage fire at the moment. EA, all of them. They're all talking about what do we do here and how do we maneuver in this climate that Xbox has created, because this is a paradigm shift. All of a sudden, yeah, Sony is the market leader, but they are no longer the thought leader. Like they are now put in this weird position. So if I'm PlayStation, I'm doing what I've been doing the past few years, which is expanding my teams. So like Insomniac has expanded since that purchase. You know, Santa Monica, we saw Cory Barlog. He's the creative. I forget his title.
He's the glue in that fucking studio.
Yeah, but he's like the creative lead of teams at Santa Monica.
Yeah.
There's multiple teams at Naughty Dog. So like, what's happening is they're expanding those brands that we know, so that they keep on making games every. We know it's every 4 to 5 years, but because there's multiple teams in there, it'll be like every 2 years. We're seeing something from Guerrilla. We're seeing something from Firesprite. We're seeing something from all those teams. So they're expanding their output that way. While at the same exact time, just probably seeing this news, you're like, oh, it's about content and not consoles anymore. We got to prepare for that. And what do we purchase and what can we afford? So that we have that content and we have that studio base. And my only question there is like, does Sony, the parent company, want all that operation cost attached to whatever publisher you're going to be picking up? That's extra money that you have to throw into those companies as well. So like, to me, there's a lot of questions that PlayStation have to answer. That's not a tit for tat. They're never going to be Game Pass like the way we're seeing it. At least I think they know they have about 5 years. Because they still have Diablo, they'll still have Overwatch coming to that console, but at the same exact time, Game Pass is only going to get more and more attractive of an offer to the main consumer, while at the same exact time as PlayStation, you kind of have to look ahead going, all right, so if everything's coming to this app in about 5 years, we need to make sure we have the content and the studios that can back that app up. Yeah. So to me, I actually think the game plan is creating the Hulu to the Netflix. And I do think in the long term, we will see Game Pass on PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's just gonna happen.
You heard it from a PlayStation guy. Woo!
Yeah. I think it's just bound to. I think because Microsoft doesn't give a shit about the box. They've been kind of even when they can brag about how great their console is doing right now, they're just talking about Game Pass. Like they've held true on that notion. So it's really about getting this app on wherever you can get this app on. And so I want that to happen because I want to play Halo on a goddamn DualSense.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
Sure. Nick, what's your take on this? What do you think?
I think PlayStation's at an interesting crossroads, and what the problem is when you say something's at a crossroads, inevitably one person thinks one of that branching roads is death, and it's not, right? Like the PlayStation brand is stronger than it's ever been, even with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Sony still outpaces Microsoft in terms of its overall value, in terms of financials. So. The thing is I think there's some interesting leadership challenges that Herman Hulst and Jim Ryan have in front of them. And there's some unique ways they could tackle the current situation that they are in. Obviously, with Spartacus, we've got to see what that's going to be about. What is the value proposition? Is this just combining PlayStation Plus with PlayStation Now? Are you adding something more attractive to it? Are you rolling other Sony services into the gaming division? Like, what are you doing to cross-pollinate that? And I see a lot of people going, well, the only way PlayStation can compete is if they buy Take-Two.
No.
I think the smart thing to do is PlayStation keeps playing smart with their money. PlayStation can't, once again, trying to avoid the fanboy phrasing that gets involved here. PlayStation can't afford to do the same stuff Microsoft can in the same ways.
Yes.
Because PlayStation has to fund all their other divisions out of the same pool of money, just like Microsoft does. But the thing is Microsoft's pool of money is like a pool, and Sony's is a smaller pool. And they still have to fund all their other divisions out of that pool. So you cannot use 60% of Sony's value to buy a publisher, because then you're assuming, well, everything has to pay off in the gaming division, and they're never going to monopolize themselves like that again, because we saw with the PlayStation 3 they did that, and oh boy, that was not good for them in the long run. So I think Jim Ryan's a smart guy. Herman Hulst is an incredibly intelligent man. I think what they're going to do is they're going to start bringing back IPs
and incredibly handsome.
Yes, incredibly handsome. Yes,
he is, man. He is. I did it.
And I think they're going. I think what they're going to do is they're going to start bringing back their IPs where it makes sense. And what they're doing is they're using Sony Pictures to cross-pollinate these offerings. You know, we've got the Uncharted movie. Okay, that was meant to come out a couple of years ago. That's falling behind the 8 ball from where they wanted it to be. But a perfect example, this Last of Us HBO show, 100% that remake or remaster or Factions 2 will drop.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, Nick.
Because
I got you, bro.
Because what they're doing is, because PlayStation's game here is, how can we make more casual people aware of these amazing IPs we have? TV shows. My mom's asking me about The Last of Us and what this is all about. And my mom's like 64 and has no idea what's going on in the gaming space since Mario, right?
Yeah.
So she's asking, what's The Last of Us? You know, what can I'm like, oh man, here's my PlayStation 4. Try it out. It's really cool. It's this dope game, right? But you're getting more people in the door. You're seeing it. You know, there's a rumor that Twisted Metal's being brought back. And then there's all of a sudden there's a Sony Pictures show that's going to be Twisted Metal. No. What we're doing is we're using our businesses, our separate businesses, to complement each other.
It's synergy. It's Sony at its most synergistic you've ever seen it. Real talk. My best friend who knows nothing, like she's seen Uncharted. She's like, oh wow, like Nathan Drake's fucking hot. And I'm like, I know he's a very attractive man. That's all she knows of Uncharted. I showed her the Uncharted movie trailer. All right. And once Tom Holland, literally, she's silent during the whole thing. Tom Holland gets out of the water. She's like, oh, fuck me. And literally, she's like, I'm excited. This looks fucking awesome. I'm in. I'm like, whoa, what do you think it says? It looks awesome. I'm in. I'm like, all right. You know,
and do you think they release, and this isn't nearly as good of a story as Joe's, but do you think they release Spider-Man on Avengers the timing that they did with No Way Home? Because they're on that. Or go ahead, Joe.
No, but I think you see how that plan already pays off, right? Like Miles Morales, year after its release, hits the top 5 because No Way Home is fantastic. If let's just say the Last of Us TV show is fantastic, when people are like, "Why remake the Last of Us? I'm not going to play it." It's like, because it's not for you, you fucking idiot, you moron. It's not everything is about you. Why? I know this is so different. This is for my brother, right? Who's just like, wait, Pedro Pascal? Well, I'm in. Like that's what this remake is. Like this remaster of Uncharted. Why is that there? Why does it exist? Yeah. Because there's an Uncharted movie in 2 weeks. That's why it fucking exists. You know, that's why it's not Sony's gonna charge me $70. It's like, no, they're charging the casual $70. They're gonna make that money. Sorry.
Let me ask you guys something. Since I've had Matt's comment up, I didn't forget it. I wanted to address it. Do you guys think? I think he's right from this perspective. You know, like, I mean, especially with the 30% cut, because they would have to be really desperate in order to do this. So, what do you guys think, Nick? Do you think Game Pass will ever come to PlayStation? No.
There's the thing is at the end of the day, if Game Pass comes to PlayStation, there's a pride point with the leadership at Sony PlayStation right now. Right now. Could this change in the future? Absolutely. But there is nowhere where Jim Ryan is going to concede to allow this on, because he believes in his solution. We have seen this. Yeah, because let's face it, we have seen Jim Ryan. He will stand on his square and go, backwards compatibility is stupid. And now he's like, yeah, you know, old games are cool.
Sure.
Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, because he learned and he's adjusting his policy on that. But the thing is with Spartacus coming around the corner, there's no way. Could Game Pass come to PlayStation in the next decade? Maybe. Yeah. Next 5 years? No way possible, unless Spartacus bombs off the face of the planet, which I don't see happening.
I think I think the same. They got a lot of pride right now, but the bargaining chip is Call of Duty and how much Call of Duty's entangled with PlayStation, right? Of how successful that brand is on PlayStation. That's a lot of money that they're going to be hurting if that's gone. If Microsoft just comes to you going, okay, listen, we'll put like a Game Pass Lite. Like we've seen Microsoft be the ones to like bend at a lot of ways just to get that app somewhere. Like you take a look at the Apple situation. So it'd be like, listen, it'll just be our games on there, and that's it. And here's a little bit of a cut. And I think that pride will wear away when it's about like fight or flight. So I do think there will be a point. It's not like saying like PlayStation's going to be like dead or whatever, but there's going to be a point where it's just inevitable. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think like probably like Nintendo will probably be it's really between Nintendo and PlayStation, which one will take the bait first. But I think if one of them takes the bait, the other will follow.
I definitely think if anyone's going to take the Game Pass bait first, it'll be Nintendo. We've seen a lot of cloud games lately. Just like,
dude, Microsoft is whining and dining the shit out of Nintendo.
Oh shit, my bad.
I'm sorry. I'll do it on my end. They just, Microsoft just wants out of Nintendo, and any way they need to do that to bet them, they will.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know this sounds crazy and whatever, but like we literally just seen the impossible this week.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we did, man. It's pretty. That's
enough of me talking. I talk too much.
No, man. That's fascinating for sure. All right. You guys got anything else to add, or should we get to our final segment? Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yes. All right, Mike. All right, guys. So we're gonna have our new segment, okay? And it's called Mike. Throw it up there, baby.
All right, incoming.
Drama alert! So, what we're going to be doing is reading off dramatic tweets from the past week. This is going to be something that we're going to incorporate. I think we're very proud of this one. So, Mike, the first one I want to do is the. Do you have pictures of them?
Yeah. Just tell me which one.
Okay, throw up the one about the warning the Sony fanboys.
Yeah. Gaming for fun.
All right,
Gaming for fun. One? Yes. Okay.
Oh, to all the Sony fanboys.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Which one is that? Yep. This one here.
Yes, this is it. Yes. All right.
I did everything to avoid this tweet.
To all the Sony fanboys, you have no one to blame but yourself. You spent years trying to kill Xbox by telling everyone how Xbox has no games. Now the situation has flipped, and you can't take it. Don't poke the bear unless you're YOUR ready to be eaten.
Yes.
You created this beast.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what a tough guy. What a tough guy thing to say.
By the way, he's just gaming for fun, guys.
He's just gaming for fun.
Just underscore gaming for
I
fun.
hope you're watching, man. You're such a loser. Thank you for giving me content, dude. Thank you. All right. Jordan wanted to do the next one. I'm going to let everyone... Okay.
This is Xbox Cult, Mike.
Xbox Cult, yes.
God.
Oh, they're proud of it.
Which one, Jordan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Xbox Cult, Chris, Phil, remember.
Oh, is that the name? My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his name is Xbox.
Oh, I see it. I apologize.
Pull it up, baby.
Created
Pull it up.
this
Pull it up.
Yep. Oh,
Yes.
This tweet comes from Xbox Cult, Chris D. Phil, remember, this is Sony, though. They would step on Xbox at every chance, and they have in the past. Lead Xbox, treat it as a business. Whatever business's decision makes the most sense and gain the most profit long term. That should be your number one priority.
Watching Phil read that tweet, he's like, I never thought about it like that.
Holy shit! Feels like in 20 years, I never thought that. That's
My
insanity.
goodness, what a great tweet.
Thank you, Xbox Cult, you loser.
Oh my god.
Who's next? Kevin,
I want to do. Let's see. I want to do. I don't even know. They're all so good. Let me do Jason Schreier's.
Yes.
Are you going to add a voice?
Oh yeah. 100%. Let's do Jason Schreier's. This is from the man who blocks everybody on on Twitter. Do you see him, Mike? There.
Do I
Yep,
see
that one.
Jason? Yeah, right here.
That one.
Yeah. You want to open it up, Mike?
Oh,
Make it
sorry,
bigger.
sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Get with us, Mike.
Earth to Mike.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, make it bigger, Mike.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of which ones. Yeah,
There we go.
my bad.
I'm on vacation today. LOL. That means laugh out loud. But if I were not, I would be calling up some antitrust experts because Xbox buying Bethesda and now Activision sure seems like the type of horizontal merging I get none of. That the DOJ frowns upon. Thank you. This is Jason Schreier. Horizontal merging. Oh my god.
Dying, bro.
Goodness.
I hate how he's the only one we trust for this. Like he's you know, honest to God, and it's given this man such an ego.
I know, because he's been right a lot, and
He's been
so-
right a lot, and it's just like, and I agree with a lot of the shit he says.
Sure, I know,
not
but
this
it's
week.
him. Why
It's just
him? Why him? Why couldn't
You know?
it be The Rock?
Could have been
man.
anybody that doesn't have their head 40 feet up their own ass. Like it had to be.
Had to be Gargamel. All right.
Gargamel.
All right. Who's next?
Oh God.
Who's next? Mike.
Oh, do I get a tweet?
Yeah, we got one for you too.
All right. Oh, make it bigger. Make it zoom.
All right, is this me? All
Yeah.
right, this
Do
is
it,
me.
Mike.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Jesus! And people say that Disney wants world domination, but it's only a matter of time until the entire gaming industry is branded as Xbox.
Yeah, right.
That's good. That's good.
All right, we got Nick next. Throw up the next one for Nick.
All right, I think. Here we go.
Nick's
Here's
putting on his
the
glasses.
nose.
He's getting
Oh
ready.
my God! Hey, this was the one
Yeah, this
I
is
wanted
good.
to do initially.
Yeah, this is good. This one's good.
All right, Nick.
Glasses, fucker.
Oh, Nick, you're muted. You're muted.
You're muted, baby. You're muted.
All right, hold on. I gotta pretend like an A-line Adderall for a little.
Yeah.
Xbox could never. Xbox would never. Especially not for, I can't read with these glasses on, especially with for $15 a month, the cheap ass Xbox community still refusing to buy Xbox games. Xbox doesn't have the passion for creating the type of art at a Sony's dev standards. Xbox just wants to get paid for doing anything. Nothing. I can't read. Absolutely nothing. And we'll throw a little Mickey Mouse woohoo at the end of that.
And this person just put a full-on zoom in on their nostril.
I think that might be Miles Morales' nose. That's my guess.
You can tell by
Okay.
the board.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a
bro.
choice. And who's this guy?
I have no. Oh, this guy is that gamer in Cali.
Of course.
Yeah, fucking touch grass.
All right, last one goes to Joe. Which one have we not done yet?
That's the one that Xbox Today has officially. There you go. That one. Yep.
Oh, Joe, this is an anti-Xbox one right up your alley, baby.
I saved this one for Joe.
All right. I don't have a good voice. I can't do voices while I'm reading.
Run with it.
Xbox Today has officially become the worst cancer in the gaming industry. I was going to buy an Xbox this gen to support them, but I can only support a company that's trying, but I can only
I can't
support
I think you wanted to say.
Yeah, he wanted to say can't, but he pulled a me. I can't support a company that is trying to create a monopoly.
You gotta
Joe, what the?
trying to create a monopoly.
Can we talk
All
about
right.
the fact he misspelled one word and it changed the entire
It
tone?
did.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, I can do it. Yeah. He's like, I just poured money into Amazon last week. Yeah, that comes from the craft of games.
Oh my god.
Good job,
Hey,
Fernando. You
Good job,
made your
Fernando.
family proud, man.
These were
Hey.
carefully curated tweets.
That's
Yes,
right.
they
Wow.
were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Hey, I don't know who Sam Kinison is. Would somebody remind me?
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Maybe I can pull
Anyone
something
know
off.
Sam Kinison? Born Distracted. If you can help us out here, it doesn't seem like anyone on this on this panel knows who he is. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh shit, that was fucking awesome, dude.
I think my
Anyway, yeah,
favorite
but-
one was the first one.
Man,
The
that
Beast.
shit-
The
oh,
beast.
that guy-
Pavelio created this beast.
that guy, God bless him. God bless him.
That guy fucking pees sitting down.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have proof, but that tweet's enough for me to
Oh,
know.
No doubt, man.
I do say though, I think out of all of us, the bald-headed cats got voices that could go on some fucking hardcore anime, bros. Mo and Joe, I want a cartoon,
Wait,
guys.
who's Sam Kinison?
I had to look him up.
You wanna
it's a
tell us,
comedian.
Diego?
He's a comic. Yeah,
Huh?
he's a comic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, you younglings don't know true comedian.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
Look, I'm
Sorry.
28. Give me a break. There's no funny
Yeah.
people from my generation.
Yeah,
I don't know what
and
you
there's-
want me to do.
And he's also Canadian, so that's like a
Yeah.
handicap.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shit.
I love you, Nick.
Oh shit, man, this was fucking hilarious. No, I don't either. I don't know Sam either. But I'm 38, man. I have no idea who's. Man, let me fucking Google him. 'Cause
I
these
mean,
guys are driving me
he's
nuts
with a
right
bunch
now.
of pictures. He's in a bunch of pictures with Rodney
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dangerfield and shit.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
of him. I
yeah.
know of him. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
now I remember who he is.
I
but
can't put
yeah,
a
yeah.
voice to a face. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't even. I recognize the face, but I don't even know what he sounds like. I'm sorry, guys. All right, man. Well, this was fucking hilarious. This was a great show. Great conversation, gentlemen. Thank you guys for being with us. It was
course.
freaking awesome. Thanks for being sports too with the tweets, man. You guys are natural.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I'm the next Troy Baker minus the NFTs.
Oh
Yes.
man, listen, you can hate it or you
How
can
did I
create it. You know.
Oh man, that's a good
Oh,
one.
that's for the next
That's
one. Oh my
always a
God.
fun.
You could literally
Oh,
just
hate or create. Oh my God, I gotta get that on here.
Literally, you could do a whole segment of just Troy Baker tweets from the past 5 years, and you would
Yeah.
have
Yes.
6
yes.
shows worth. You'd be fine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh shit. Anyway, yeah, man. Everybody, guys in the chat, thank you for being with us. Half of us were paying attention to the game. Appreciate you all. Our guests, our boys, thank you guys too. Bad Bit, where can they find you, baby?
Hey, you know where you can find me. The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're doing a Horizon Forbidden West giveaway. You rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Get yourself a chance to win Horizon Forbidden West. And the same for Spotify, but for Elden Ring, which y'all have been killing my anxiety because I've just been getting flooded with DMs. Here's my photo. Jesus. Whew, it's like I get it, but like keep them coming, I guess.
like nudes, or how do you?
No, because like with Spotify, you can only rate it 5 stars. I can't see
gotcha.
who rated it. So I told him on the show, DM me. No nudes, please. And you know,
Unless they're good.
Send them nudes.
unless you're like real confident. But like Jordan, my goodness.
I
like a
like
baby's
this
arm.
tactic. This bribery tactic is
Yeah.
gonna work well for you. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Diego, I thought TBC was gonna go as long as ILP. Bro, God bless them, man. I don't know how
was
they
it like 6 hours?
Oh
I don't
my-
even
That was
know.
too fucking
my
Lord of the
joints-
Rings.
my joints would
Yes.
fucking lock up if I sat that long in front of a computer.
Yeah, you need a shower afterwards.
Oh my god, man. Oh shit, that's awesome. Nick, where can they find you, my man?
Well, you can find my written work at lordsofgaming.net, and you can also find me on YouTube at The Gaming Perspective. Kicking off a new series in February and just lining some things up, lining some people up, and
Awesome.
gonna rub some elbows with some assholes. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Touch some tips, I hope.
Yes.
There you hope so.
Some docking.
As we always say in the construction industry I'm in, we always go dick to ass every day.
That's good.
God bless you.
Yeah, man. Anyway, yeah, guys. So yeah, thank you guys again, guests and everybody with us. We hope to see you guys again next Sunday. I'm Mo, Mike, Kevin, Jordan. You guys got any final words?
No, sir. All set, man. Have a good
Yeah,
weekend.
have a
Win.
great weekend.
You guys have a great weekend. Well, the rest of your weekend, which is like a few hours left. And I hope everybody has a great week. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week. I think trivia will be back, so a prize will be given for trivia.
Riddle me this.
Yeah, riddle me this. All right, everybody. You guys have a good week. Thank you. Take it easy. Bye.